Welcome to the Live Up podcast, where we watch the movies from our youth to see if they live up. Quick note on how this will go. We will review, discuss, and score the movie in question to see if it lives up to us as adults and whether it lives up to kids today. I'm Jess Lauderman.
And I'm Amanda Treat. On today's episode, we're going all the way back to one of the many, many movies set at the 1988 Calgary Olympics. I fucked that up. Let me do that again. I dated a guy from Calgary once. I think it's like the trauma of thinking about Calgary.
Trauma of this guy.
Fucking Calgary. He was awful.
This fucking Calgary guy.
That fucking Calgary guy. All right, starting in. On today's episode, we celebrate the Winter Olympics that have come and gone by going all the way back to one of the many, many movies set at the 1988 Calgary Olympics. Is it Cool Runnings? No. Is it Eddie the Eagle? No. Is it I, Tonya? No. Tonya didn't even qualify that year. But today, we're reviewing the figure skating enemies to lovers cult classic that wants so badly to be a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh my
it's
God.
1992's The Cutting Edge.
Wow.
Jess?
That's a lot of movies set in this Olympics.
At one Olympics, yeah. So Jess, what is your history with The Cutting Edge?
This is another on-cable movie classic. I think I watched this all the time. I don't think we rented it, but it was on all the time. So I know this movie so well. And I'm pretty sure I watched it with my brother too. It wasn't just me. And I obviously had the hots for Kate. I mean, that's very obvious, I guess, to me, even in rewatch.
To you, yeah.
Yes. So I watched this a lot. This is one on the list that I'm curious how much you've seen it because it was a cable movie. So what is your history of this?
I think I only saw this once.
Really?
I distinctly
Oh my
remember watching this. My friend Megan, who gets referenced a lot on this podcast, they renovated their basement and made a rec room, and we watched it down there. And I think by the time we were watching it on DVD, no, not even DVD, VHS, we were old enough that I know I'd already seen The Princess Bride a million times, and I think I was judging this movie against other movies that had a very high bar, like The Princess Bride.
Yeah, which is our highest bar.
Yes. So having only seen this once, I'm pretty sure all I could remember about this was the lady character just saying toe pick over and over again. Like that was all I remember. It was just toe pick.
I mean, that's a good thing to remember from it.
I do want to, before we even start talking in depth about this film, I want to sidetrack us to, we were supposed to record last week right after my nephew's hockey game.
Oh, that's right.
My nephew's team, they're from Cape Cod. They're the Shacks. All the hockey moms are there. Go Shacks! With the like excellent New England accent. But I'm sidetracking us with hockey because there's hockey in this movie, but also sidetracking us with skating because both of my nephew's playoff games were at Nancy Kerrigan's old skating rink, which is 10 minutes from my house. And I knew she used to she practiced there, and like that's where she became the Nancy Kerrigan we all know and love today. But it was like super funny to watch this movie, then go to a hockey game at Nancy Kerrigan's rink.
That's amazing. I love that.
I've also, like, another rando, I met Nancy Kerrigan once backstage at Footloose on Ice, which is what she was doing after the Olympics. She went on tour on Footloose on Ice.
Wow.
And my friend Bill was being like, he was like hitting on her really badly, but she was already married at this point. So she was just kind of like looking over past Bill at my friend Denise and I like, oh,
like, please help me.
Like, ladies, get him out of here. Yes. So she was very nice though.
There's so much drama in all the things. Like, you went to playoff games, Nancy Kerrigan. I mean, the whole Nancy Kerrigan, Tonya Harding thing is probably the greatest sidecar drama to the Olympics that has ever been.
Unbelievable.
And I, Tonya is a great movie.
It is, yeah.
It is a great movie, and I highly
It falls
recommend
outside
that.
of our nostalgia range, but highly,
does.
highly recommend I, Tonya to anyone who hasn't seen
Yeah.
it. That's another movie, though, with that Winter Olympic themes, but we're never going to cover that one. So,
Not going to cover that. We're going to cover this one.
Yes.
Toe pick.
Jess, would you like to give one of your fantastic plot summaries of The Cutting Edge?
I would. So I'll just start by saying that there's more hockey in the opening sequence of this movie than in all of Heated Rivalry. So we should all know that.
Very little hockey in Heated
There is
Rivalry.
very little hockey in Heated Rivalry, which is a-okay with me because that is a show that is
That's
close to my
not,
heart.
we're not watching it for the hockey.
We're not watching it for the hockey. We're watching it for the greatest love story ever. But no, this is a classic mismatch love story mixed together with a classic set of let's get better sports montages, which you and I love. You have a hockey player who tries to become a figure skater, and the whole mismatched love story begins. And it's a perfect mix. I'm just giving away the game of how I feel about this movie, but that's
She's
what it's
watched this
about.
a million times on cable,
I've
but
watched this so much. I mean, toe pick. Oh, so good.
topic.
Toe pick.
Well, I'm gonna back up your summary with some nerdy notes
Do
about.
it. As per usual, I did
Yes,
not read your nerdy notes in advance, so I can't wait. So
I need
hit
to
me.
reread them really quickly. Here. No, I'm just kidding.
I know because
It's been
listeners,
a little while.
I kept canceling on Amanda. I suck. So we're finally
We
recording.
should have recorded after the hockey game at the Nancy Kerrigan rink, but I
We should have recorded
digress.
after any of the gold medal games of the actual hockey that happened or figure
Mm,
skating.
or figure skating.
I
Yeah.
don't like figure skating as an Olympic sport, but that's beside
Okay,
the point.
wait. Sidebar on this because
Yeah,
it's.
let's sidebar.
I appreciate the athleticism of it. I don't like sports where people are voting
Oh my
and
God,
there's just
100%.
opinion voting going on and not actual
I'm
measurable
so
winners.
with you. Like, I have a problem with gymnastics and figure skating. I just don't. Okay, that being said, also me, I am obsessed with the half pipe and all of the snowboarding that involves points that are subjective.
That's pretty cool looking.
I guess I only like the cool ones.
Well, let's say the sport itself can be entertaining, but I don't like the way it's judged, and that's my
Yeah.
issue with it.
My kids did like it, and I think my
Yeah.
meaning my kids liked watching figure skating, and I think part of it was a little driven by this movie because we as a
Okay.
family, I should have mentioned, we watched this right before the Winter Olympics.
All right. Wait, we're going all the way back to nerdy notes.
Nerdy notes,
Sorry.
take me back.
Many paths to go down here. So, for the cutting edge, this is the first screenplay for Tony Gilroy, who would go on to do all these crazy action movies like Armageddon, the Jason Bourne
Oh,
trilogy, Michael Clayton, which he got an Oscar nomination for.
Michael
Uh,
Clayton's a good movie.
it is all well. These are mostly good movies, depending
Yeah,
on how
no,
much.
I
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one.
And he wrote Rogue One. Did you watch that? That movie was amazing. So
Rogue
this,
One.
yeah,
Oh my God. Sidebar nerd out. I know
yeah,
we're never going to do Star Wars on this podcast because we can't, but like, listen, bros, come at me. But Rogue One is the best Star Wars
it's the
movie.
best one.
It
Yeah,
is the best one. My kids
yeah,
love it. I love
yeah.
Rogue One. I love the Andor series. It's
He
phenomenal.
write and this writer wrote several of the screenplays for Andor too.
No.
So
Greatest TV show. I will die on that hill.
think about that lineup: Armageddon, Jason Bourne, Michael Clayton, Rogue One, Andor, and then The Cutting Edge. Like what kind of like what an outlier?
Is it an outlier though? I don't know. We'll
I
discuss.
don't see this as quite the action in
No,
space. There's no space in
there's
this.
no
Like,
space.
yeah,
But
there's no ice skating in space in The Cutting Edge.
wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Holy
we have
shit.
quite the screenplay and screenwriter here. But this is
Yes.
his first screenplay, and he would kind of pivot from here. So,
Yeah.
I would say a lesser driver of this movie is the director is Paul Michael Glazer, who used to play Starsky in Starsky and Hutch.
Oh.
Kind of random. And
Random.
right before this movie, he directed The Running Man, which is kind of
Oh.
also very camp and,
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger in the funny
Oh.
costumes, like a gay show. It's like the OG Hunger Games. And then he went on to do The Air Up There, which I think bombed. And they did Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal. Do you remember
I'm
that
shaking my
movie?
head, putting the thumbs down.
Yeah, so I think we've got a strong screenwriter and a not as strong director going on with this movie.
All
Just
right, but that screenwriter.
yes. Neither of our main actors knew how to skate before this. They learned, but a lot of those montages you referred to are using body doubles, which is why
I
I think the
assumed.
camera is a little fuzzy and
Yeah.
not quite focused on the faces. And then actress Moira Kelly was learning how to do jumps, and she broke her ankle in the first week of shooting, so they had to
Oh
rearrange the
no.
whole order that they shot the movie in while she was healing. And that injury kept her from being in A League of Their Own. She was going to play the sister. And they gave it to Lori Petty instead because Moira Kelly had to drop out.
Oh my, Amanda, you have
Right?
blown. This is the second time in the Nerdy Notes. We're like minutes into this podcast and you've blown my mind. So we listeners, we had I think one of our better episodes on A League of Their Own. So go back and listen to that. But Amanda and I were
We
each
had a
huge
lot of
fans.
thoughts. A lot
We
of
had a lot
thoughts
of
on A
thoughts,
League
but
of
we
Their Own.
loved the Lori Petty depiction of the sister. Now, what I find interesting is that I think this actress is so hot. And so I wonder how I would have felt about it as a kid if she played the sister in A
Yeah.
League of Their Own. And that feels like a loss.
It would have
but
been a little
it's okay.
different. Yeah, Lori Petty characters have that slightly feral, unhinged
Yes,
quality
totally.
to them, which Moira Kelly would have been probably a little classier.
I mean, blow my mind more. Do you have more nerdy notes? Because I'm just losing my mind over here of the fact that she was going to be in that.
The only other nerdy note I had was more of a personal one. The Albertville Winter Olympics that they are participating in at the end of this movie is like a few miles from where I work in France. And I did
That's
not
right.
realize that.
I one day, like me and our friend Sarah, we're gonna like totally crash your work trip. And
You
like
should.
you're gonna
Yeah.
go to the office, and the two of us are gonna like hang out at a bar nearby. You're gonna like come back from work, and the two of us have had like 3 bottles of wine. It's gonna be great. Anyway, lovely.
You would love it. And the wine is really cheap and really good. All right, let's talk about the characters in this movie.
Do
So we like to
it.
go character by character. So let's talk about Kate Mosley, who you apparently have a little thing for.
I do. So I didn't see it in theater, so I was old enough to like understand that I had a crush on her. But no, I just have a thing for like sexy women who know what the fuck they're doing. I love it, and it's hard for me to detach that from how I feel about the character. I don't care that she's a bitch, and she's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, she's a diva.
I love it.
Yeah.
Give me more of it. She plays someone who's spoiled, she's entitled, she has high standards, she keeps going through various partners. They fucked up in the Olympics, so she never actually got her gold medal. She retires and then unretires, and she's just basically set up as like a difficult person to work with. I'll try to take the fact that I think she's hot out of it, but I think she really grew as a character. You know, we always talk about things that we see differently now that we're older. She's set up as the bitch, but I think this is where the script writing is great because she grows and she's actually really not the villain. And I feel
No.
like looking at it now and watching it now as a middle-aged lady, like, you know, she's difficult to work with, but maybe she just has high standards. Like, I mean, there's a little bit of like the woman must be the villain as a setup to this movie, which kind of sucks a little bit.
That it's a figure skating movie and she is the star figure skater, but it's not her movie somehow. Like it's framed very much from the guy's point of view,
It
learning to be the
is.
figure skater.
And it's framed very much like no one could work with her, which I kind of get as the dramatic tension, but I also keep thinking about the fact that I'm watching this with my 9-year-old son and my 14-year-old daughter and like what messages come through. But
Yeah.
so there's a little bit of that there that from the 2026 standards is maybe not how you would have done it today. But
Yeah.
but that being said, she does have good growth. She becomes flexible throughout this. Obviously, it's a love story too with the Doug character, but
Yeah.
that's my spiel on it. We keep referencing like toe pick. My kids loved that. There's a whole montage of Doug basically figure skating as if he's playing hockey, and he keeps falling because he has a toe pick on his skate.
Which is not on hockey skates.
Right. So every time he like bites it on the ice, which by the way looks extremely painful, she just goes toe pick. And she says it so much that it's hilarious. My kids were really laughing hard at this. I mean,
It
they
is very
loved it.
funny, even though it's like kind of bullying and mean, but like
Yeah, but it's bullying me,
you're-
but it's okay
you're
because
laughing
he's an
at it.
asshole too. So like
he
you're
really
laughing.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, what kept popping into my head is if she is such a great ice skater, why are they forcing her into pair skating? Like, why does she need a partner? Just let her go on her own.
I know, I thought of that too, but then you wouldn't have a movie, but yeah.
You wouldn't have a movie, but it just seems so much more in line with her character, and also her father's really pushing her like you got to win a gold medal.
Yeah.
And putting half of that responsibility in like a random guy they just picked up because she got rid of her last skating partner.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a plot hole to me. Why would her father encourage her to share the gold? They just seem like a family where it's like, it's all on you, darling.
Yeah.
Go get the gold medal and like nothing else is acceptable.
I think that's where this is from another time, right? And there's a little bit of like she needs a help from a dude to win the gold.
Yeah.
So I don't love that part, but I think her growth makes up for it. I mean, like she also just so she softens throughout. I mean, she accepts the fact that Doug, who's a hockey player and abrasive, we'll say, and she's very rich, upper class. She just accepts his style, not just accepts it in a way because she's a woman and has to accept the man's style. That's not it at all. She recognizes that she could win with this style, and she recognizes that he has talent too, and she wants to learn how to play hockey and like all this stuff. And obviously she falls in love with him along the way. But I think that's like good growth. And one thing that I did realize is that like she sort of realizes in this process with Doug, this is really looking deep into it. She didn't like herself. She didn't like who she became. She understands that she is the one that has been holding everything back, and it's not cheesy. And I really liked that about her character development, that she actually grew as a person and became more confident in this process. She didn't just succumb to what the man wanted to do. She became more confident in her skating because she was able to like let go of her insecurities. I know this is like a deep
Jess has
read.
seen this movie so many more times than
I have seen this so many more times, and I think as a kid I didn't, that to me she was the villain and then she falls in love.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I think that this is there in the screenwriting, screenplay, whatever. It's there.
I'm not willing
Tell me I'm wrong, Amanda. Oh, we're gonna fight.
I'm not fully gonna give the screenplay credit. I think Moira Kelly is the one who's actually
she's sexy and she's a good actress. I love it.
Yeah, like I think she's the one who really brings the heart into this transition. I mean, you've got a guy writing the screenplay and a guy directing it, and they really make her into this harpy bitch at the beginning.
They do.
And then she's got to grow out of it, but it's so clearly a bunch of dudes wrote this character to be like, the taming of the shrew, like, here we go. But I think Moira Kelly does a good job with what she's been given here and does this transition from whatever misogynist word you want to use at the beginning to becoming someone who's definitely softened and is more able to work as a team by the end. But that said, I don't understand why she's skating pairs. I think she is probably better solo, but there wouldn't be a movie, as you said.
It's a fair point. And, you know, along the way, I think what softens her, though, to people watching this and kids is that she has great zingers. I mean, she also makes fun of Doug, and it's not always mean.
There's great snarky 1990s going on here.
It's so great.
So snarky.
Doug is talking about how he was a legend in high school and he was revered because he was such a good hockey player, and going on about our glory days. And she just like looks at him and she goes, what a sad state of our time. I mean, it's very funny. She could go toe to toe. Like she wasn't just a bitch. She was also pretty smart and funny.
I can't believe you passed on the opportunity to say toe pick to toe pick, but we will move on. You're just
funnier than I am, Amanda.
Oh, man. All right, so we need to talk about her skating partner here, Doug Dorsey, played by D.B. Sweeney. I don't recall seeing him in any other movie ever, but he is. He's like a character actor and stuff, but I just don't remember.
I don't know if I've seen him in anything else.
Actually, cute thing, the two actors agreed if they ever made a sequel to this movie, one of them would not star in it without the other. They made a pact that they would
cute.
both be in it, and then some idiots went ahead and made sequels without either of them. But
I didn't even realize that they made sequels. Okay.
Yeah, they like fuck with the timeline, so many issues, but not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about Doug. He is the hockey player. He starts this movie in bed with a woman at the Olympic Village, and he does not remember her name.
It's a little cringe.
Yeah.
Not only does he not remember her name, but he oversleeps and then yells at her for not setting an alarm, while also he doesn't know who she is, but he just had sex with her.
So he also is a terrible person at the beginning of this movie.
Absolutely.
But feel like the way they frame the whole thing, they're giving him a lot more leeway than they gave Kate, which is probably a
It's a
sign of the
sign of the
90s.
times. Yeah.
All right. So, aside from Doug being kind of a terrible person, we do feel bad for him because during, I think it's the gold medal game of the Olympics, he gets, I forget if it was like a cross check or what happened in that play, but he gets smashed and has some sort of concussion and eye injury that ends up
Yeah.
being permanent, and he can't play hockey anymore, which makes sense. You wouldn't want to be partially blind playing hockey. So we feel bad. He's really lost his whole reason for getting up in the morning.
Yeah, he definitely loses his raison d'etre. I mean, I don't think I appreciated that enough as a kid. It's
Yeah.
not that I'm a professional athlete over here, but I think that's devastating.
It's devastating. Like, I just, even when I was in my early 30s, broke my leg playing soccer, and it was like, I'm never going to play again. Like, oh my God. And just like having to reorient who I thought, I think of myself as an athlete. And oh no.
There's a little bit of a sequence of him really trying to make it work, but he just can't because of his injury.
Yeah.
So they set that up nicely in a way. He's sort of a broken dude at this point.
Yeah, he's not accepting the fact that his injury has ended his hockey career, and he's trying very hard. But you also see him working for his family construction business, and like he's
His brother's
working
bar,
at the bar.
which is like a huge downfall.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to people who work in bars, but it's a downfall from being like the next hot thing in professional sports to I'm gonna work as a bartender. Yeah.
So he gets plucked from his now obscurity by this Russian coach, and we'll talk about him in a minute, brought to Kate's personal ice skating rink.
Because she has a personal
she's
ice
rich.
skating rink.
She's
rich.
got her own ice skating
Crazy.
rink. Does she have her own Zamboni?
They
didn't show that.
I wish they did.
Because that would be the best part. Like, we needed a scene
riding
of
the
them doing,
Zamboni.
well, like with him by the end, Titanic style. Like, I'm the king of the world, and I've got my arms out.
That would
I'm
have been
just saying,
hilarious.
There was an opportunity here. They could have
Opportunity lost.
could have had a Zamboni love making. Yeah. Could have been more awkward to watch with your kids. That's all.
Could have been
commenting on. There could have been a Zamboni love making.
It was slightly awkward that you're introduced to the Doug character when he's like in bed with a one night stand. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 90s, this is how you introduce characters to children. Like,
yeah,
it's like post one night stand.
Awkward.
And like no one has clothes on. Whatever, I'm not going to clutch my pearls over it, but I'm like, oh, this is a different era.
Honestly, if we're talking about things that are awkward in this movie to watch with kids, there's a scene where they're describing the feeling of skating as orgasmic. Is that what they say in the press conference?
That is. She says it. Kate says it.
Yes.
And it's part of like her flirtation a little bit with Doug, maybe. It's like this mass not a press conference, but they're interviewing all the Olympic skaters. There's this like long pregnant pause for how you describe the feeling of skating. And then she says orgasmic. And this is so funny. Isaac turned to me and he goes, "What does orgasmic mean?"
You should have told him to Google it.
I don't even know what we
just
said.
Kidding. Parents don't ever do that.
We're like, oh, it just means that it feels really good. I think we fumbled through this answer, but I thought that was so funny that Isaac like, what does that word mean?
Did you text me at that point? I feel like you texted me like, I just had a conversation about what is an orgasm with the kids.
Yes, I did.
Whoops.
I don't think he'd repeat this one on the playground. He's more likely to repeat a penis joke.
Yeah. Or you don't want him like going ice skating with friends and being like, that was orgasmic.
Oh my God.
You get a call from the other parents like, he's not invited skating with the boys anymore.
Listen, it would not actually surprise me.
All the trouble we've plotted out for Isaac. But all right, anyway, back to Doug.
Back to Doug.
Speaking of trouble, one thing I could not get past was Doug is supposed to be from Minnesota. That is the most New York, Minnesota accent I have ever heard in my life.
Almost like a New York combo, New York Boston accent.
Yeah, it just is not.
It's not Minnesota. What's like, this about? It's not. It's
like just send him to upstate New York if you have to. Like, he does not need to be from Minnesota if he can't do the accent.
He's not the best actor. I mean, like, that's one thing. It's not like we were talking about for Kate that she was given this material and actually like did something interesting with it. Again, I'm a little biased, but he's a brute. I guess maybe he plays a brute really well, but
Yeah.
he's a little bit two dimensional.
If he could have said, "Oh, I moved back from New York when I was 15," or just give us a throwaway line, but the New York accent being like, "Yeah, Minnesota."
Not as obviously horrible as Kevin Costner not even being British, but
Yes, that is true.
in
If we
Robin
ever award our own like our Livy Awards or whatever the Live Up Awards would be, like worst
right,
accent.
what is it, the Razzies?
Yeah,
The
he's
worst
not
accent.
he's not beating Costner for worst accent.
He's
but
not.
It's not good. So his trajectory is almost played out. Like he's going from hockey into figure skating. And it's almost like he has to come out to his family. Did you get that vibe?
Yes.
Like
I
he has to
100% got that
admit,
vibe.
and like they are trying so hard to make him as manly as possible in every
Yeah.
scene that he's in. Like, no, he's a guy's guy. He's a dude. He's a man.
He's the alpha. Yeah.
Yes, he has to go back home at one point and kind of tell his family, like, I'm getting into figure skating, and it really is his coming out moment. And he's so worried they're gonna like call him gay for getting
I
into
mean,
figure
they
skating.
essentially do.
Well, but they are very supportive once they realize, like, oh, okay,
Ultimately,
like,
yes.
you're still
Yes.
in the Olympics.
Where there's like a subtle thing of like hockey's for real men and figure skating is for girly girls
You
and
can't
for,
be injured
for gay
and
guys.
do hockey, but you could totally be injured and do figure skating.
Yeah, because it's like a lesser sport because it's not masculine. There's a little bit of that in here for sure.
Yeah.
And I totally read that the same way you did. It was like he had to essentially come out to his family.
Yeah, in my notes I wrote Doug comes out right in the middle of that scene. Like,
totally what it is. He comes up
Mom,
and
Dad, I'm a figure skater.
I'm a figure skater now. I mean, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, most of these figure skaters are gay. I'm just going to say it, or they're married to their partners, whatever.
I mean, he works it to his advantage later. He's like cleaning up with the other lady.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Figure skating partners who are partnered up with gay skaters.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
I think, though, this is where I was okay with his very masculine depiction. First of all, you know how I love the manly men. I'm okay with it. I was okay with Mad Mardigan. I like my men manly, I guess. I am the resident lesbian of the podcast, I feel like, for new listeners who don't realize that. But I think the way he completely accepts that this is a hard sport to do makes it all okay. So yes, he essentially does have to come out to his family as a figure skater, but he is very adamant that this is harder than hockey and that there's a lot to it and there's nuance and skill. And I think him not being good at it at first and humbling himself to therefore go from not being good at it to being good at it, it sort of softens the toxic masculinity edges to me because he really does realize that he is second fiddle to Kate's skill. So I like that.
Yeah. I got to go back to this coming out scene leading into it. So he's been telling his friends and family back home in Minnesota or New York that he is in the Merchant Marines, and that's why they haven't seen him for a little while.
Oh my God, I forgot.
As they cut to the scene where he's going home, they're playing the song Shame, 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 which I was just like, that is too on the nose. Like, stop it. Whoever's editing this, you and the director, just chill out.
I think the on the nose quality of that, and he is planes, trains, and automobiling it back to home versus Kate, who is rich and has her own ice skating rink. I do think, though, that heavy-handedness is okay for younger kids because they really kind of understand then the class difference and they understand that he is doing something hard. So I'm okay with that, even if it feels a little silly to older kids or adults watching this.
All right. I do want to talk about, we have an actor in here who is like the sleeper great actor and one of those, what is he doing in this movie moments? The coach so they have this Russian skating coach named Anton Pimchenko, played by British actor Roy Dotrice. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Only I should be saying Sir Roy Dotrice because he has been knighted by Queen Elizabeth.
Really? Oh, yes. Wow. Okay.
Um,
Good for him.
he's been acting for, or actually, I'm not sure if he's passed or not, but let's use the present tense and assume he's still alive.
Yeah.
Um,
Be optimistic.
yeah, I'm trying here. So actually, no, the second I say this, he's definitely too old to probably still be alive.
Oh.
So
Uh-oh. She's
he was
Googling.
he was no, I'm not. I wrote the notes down ahead of time and just forgot about him. He was a prisoner of war in a German
Oh,
concentration camp
wow.
during World War II, and then he became an actor. And then he recorded the audiobook for George R. R. Martin's Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire,
Oh,
which
wow.
gave him the Guinness record for the most characters ever voiced in an audiobook. That
Because
he
there's
did
so many
all
fucking
of those
characters in that
characters.
book.
Yeah, he has the Guinness record for most characters portrayed in different voices in an audiobook.
Wow.
Sir Roy's just like lurking in the back of this movie. Like, you don't know there is a knight
Wow.
in this movie.
First of all, the Game of Thrones books are like fucking Bible length. George R. R. Martin has no goddamn editor until they got to having showrunners for the show. But my only note is that I fucking love this guy. He's
Yeah.
like the perfect little flourish in this story because he doesn't steal scenes necessarily, but he's funny. He acknowledges that Kate's kind of a bitch, that Doug sort of sucks. You always kind of like it when he's in a scene. He
Yeah.
always makes it a little bit better. He's funny.
There's just enough of him, and you're right, he doesn't steal the scene, but
Just
you're
enough of
happy
him.
he's there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he comes in right from the beginning. He's Kate's coach, and then he's the one who goes and recruits Doug. And he is supposedly such a mastermind of figure skating, even though you're like, what is with this kind of like short, not overweight, but like not athletic, older Russian coach here?
Yeah.
But that he comes up with this supposedly brilliant move that's going to get them so many points when these judges who are just making shit up, as we talked about earlier, because it's figure skating, but like this is going to wow them so much that they're going to win the gold medal just because of this move he invented. And so they name it after him, and they're referring to like, oh, we're going to do the Pemchenko. We're going to do the Pemchenko move. Like, if you need more of him, apparently Game of Thrones, you get all of him for hours and hours and hours with all of those voices.
Having read those books, I'm not sure I recommend that, but okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about this, like the secret move that he had.
What even was it? Because they did it in like
even know.
sort of a montagey, like there's slow motion spinning, and
It's like he
blurry,
holds basically the Doug holds her feet and is swinging her around, and her face is very close to the ice. There is a montage of them trying to figure this move out, and it's a lot of the Kate character falling, getting thrown, and it not working. So that does add some stakes to it. It's okay that it's like weirdly in slow motion and you don't actually see it. I think for at least for my kids, they understood the stakes of it.
Yeah.
As an adult watching it, I'm like, all of this is a concussion waiting to happen.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Now she has a concussion, and they're both mildly brain damaged figure skaters, but they're happy together. Like, actually, that would have been a whole different ending, and it would have been fabulous.
That would have been like the dork comedy ending.
We're both in rehab with CTE together. Aww.
Oh my God.
It's magical.
It's like funny and wrong at the same time. Yeah. But
the nurse is like spooning pudding into each of their mouths. Yeah.
But I think one thing with the coach that you understand there are stakes for him too. Because like he's not washed up, but he needs a win, this guy. He's been working with this bitch for years, so he needs a win.
Yeah. It's a very unrewarding job.
Yeah. What's up, Isla? I love when Isla makes an appearance in our episodes. Sometimes I leave Isla in, sometimes I don't. But listeners, Isla's here.
She's making a bed for herself.
We love it.
Gotta sit through the rest of this episode.
Dog-friendly podcast here.
We do need to get back on track. Other characters. Kate has a dad, Jack Mosley, who's played by Terry O'Quinn, who's a character actor in a lot of stuff, but he just seems like stereotypical rich guy.
He sort of reminded me of Veruca Salt's dad from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but I honestly forgot that the dad and the boyfriend existed.
Oh, right. The boyfriend I totally forgot about. He's meh. They're just both meh. They're very one-dimensional, typical like 80s characters. Oh, the snobby boyfriend. Oh, the super rich dad.
This is the one thing about 80s and 90s movies is that the plot very much hits you over the head, right? We didn't even mention this because he's such a nothing character. Kate has a boyfriend
Or
but she's
like fiance,
clearly
right?
fiance. That's right. But she's
Yeah, they're
clearly
engaged.
attracted to Doug and falls for him, and he's an idiot and doesn't realize that for a
Well,
while.
that's what makes this whole thing a Hallmark Christmas
It
movie.
it
Is
kind
like
of does.
she's a tightly wound and she's got her super rich fiance, but now this local rugged guy is gonna completely unseat the stupid
Exactly.
fiance. Yeah, it's following, or maybe Hallmark based all their movies on this. Who knows?
Maybe, but it's very much hits you over the head. So there's not really like subtlety there. But kids these days, or at least my kids, they pick up on these storylines like much faster. This is Isaac, who's 9. He was like, it's kind of hard when you have a boyfriend, but then you like someone else and have to dump the boyfriend. He was
Mm.
totally like understood the plot.
I'm glad he was like empathetic to Kate's point of view here.
He was. That was actually kind of interesting. He
Yeah.
didn't care. I mean, this is also like the boyfriend character is a nothing character, but he was basically like, oh, what's this bitch going to do? Because he didn't say this, but she's got to dump the boyfriend because she really likes Doug.
Yeah. She's dating this milk toast.
So boring. Like everyone would choose Doug. I mean, choose the manly man, not this rich
Yeah.
idiot. So there's really no one else. It's really just them. Yeah.
Well, do you want to get into some random thoughts
Let's
about the
do
cutting
it.
edge?
I didn't have any. What are your random thoughts?
Starting with the most near and dear one to my heart, people in this movie keep disappearing to Boston, apparently to like whore around or commit crime.
Oh,
Like
that's
it's
right.
like Boston is just like this
That's
like
funny.
crazy like what happens in Boston stays in Boston situation. And I was just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Where's this? Who wrote this? Like what?
Yeah,
I was
that's
like a
funny.
Minnesotan being like, I gotta go to Boston to like what are all those other 80 movies. I think they used the phrase to sow the wild oats. Like
Yeah,
I think that phrase got used again. It was in Coming to America. We were
it
very
was.
uncomfortable with that phrase.
And this is basically the coach letting Doug not train every day and going to like
Yeah.
go
He
to
needs
bars
a
and stuff.
weekend off to go whore around in Boston.
I didn't remember that from when I was a kid. It didn't land for me as an adult. This is the dated part of the movie, I think.
Yeah. No, it was like, we don't have Tinder yet, so we're gonna send Doug to Boston.
Like, and you're essentially like Doug needs to fuck somebody. I mean, that's what the plot is saying. Yeah.
Yes. Kate catches up on it immediately and is just like, ew, why?
Ew.
Ugh. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want
Totally.
him touching me after he's been doing that. So yeah, that was a random thought was like, why is Boston the Vegas of this movie?
Well, I'm
Makes
okay with
no
that, as
sense.
you know.
Well,
Well,
no, it's not even like it just like culturally doesn't make any sense. I don't
yeah, it
know. We're
doesn't make
like
any
up we're
sense.
uptight Puritans. It would have been even colder up here. I don't think there's any nonsense going on.
That's hilarious.
Just saying. All right. Other random thoughts?
I'll put this as a random thought because there's a point where they're at the Olympics. And as you mentioned earlier, Doug being a straight man in the figure skating world, he ends up
Yes.
sleeping with one of the other figure skaters, not Kate. And they have this drunken evening after they essentially qualify for the finals. And Kate pretty much shows her cards and she's like into Doug. And Doug was like, we can't do this as we're drunk. And like very sweetly puts her to
It's
bed. And I
like
will,
he's being noble.
yeah. And
It's
I
kind
am
of a
not,
trope.
it's a trope, but I did turn to my son and I feel like the consent part of this was good. And it's good for
Okay.
modern
Yes.
audiences. He realized that she was like completely drunk and could not give consent. And I think actually for a movie from the 90s, that's a pretty good, I liked that.
No, that's a good call.
But then he sleeps with this other figure skater. That's fine.
Yeah, like
And
there is
then,
consent. She was sober or
oh,
whatever.
totally. And then
Yeah.
Kate sees that this had happened, gets really jealous. And this is sort of the tension for the end for them where she's upset that he slept with someone else. He realizes all the things, right? And they're going into their finals. And it fast forward, obviously they win the gold, but like I kind of liked that because Kate loosens up. She realizes that they both really realize that they love each other.
Yeah. So in the final scene at the Olympics would have been the Olympics that Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan first qualified for. So they would have crossed over because they did set these at real Olympics. All right. We always like to talk about things that suck or are cringy about the movies we review. And I think I had more cringy thoughts about this than you
I think
did.
you
So I'll
did.
start it off.
Yeah.
For a figure skating rom-com, this is unexpectedly broy. There's very few ladies in this movie.
Well, Kate.
There's Kate, but the amount of times they call Kate a stuck-up bitch at the beginning of this film is just, it's very much framed from Doug's point of view, and they are
I
so
think that's fair.
determined to prove how manly he is. And
Yeah.
that's just a little weird to me as a figure skating rom-com.
I'm biased here in some ways, but I do think
Yes, you are.
she was a good character. Like I think she had growth. She was in the driver's seat a lot. I think that was good. She's no Marion Ravenwood. I mean, which is like feels like our standard. But I think she wasn't bad for kids these days. But that being said, I think you're right. You would not have done it this way if you did this movie today.
Yeah, this is weirdly a guy's figure skating rom-com in the same way that Heated Rivalry is very much for the ladies and not
And the gays.
a hockey TV show. And the gays.
Yeah.
And arguably this figure skating rom-com could also be for the gays. I'm not excluding anyone from this. But yeah, it's a little cringy how bro-y it is to me for the amount of little girls who watch this movie and then
I
see
think that's
Doug
fair.
being kind of a douchey guy at the beginning of this movie. So just calling it out. Another thing that I put in the list of like sexers cringy is this is a sports movie. It's got a lot of montages, and their montages are not Rocky IV awesome inspiring. The music is a little weird.
It is.
The camera's a little blurry.
It is.
I know they're hiding the stunt doubles.
It
like,
is.
They had to shoot it a certain way, but like, yeah, it just kind of looks cheap in some of these. Like I wrote in all caps really early on this film. These montages are terrible, like all caps.
I think
like,
you and I, as athletes, pick apart this because like we didn't love the Teen Wolf sports, right? But we loved
fucking terrible.
Fucking terrible, but we loved some of the other like Major League. I think we've identified as having some of the best sports montages.
Right, their own really good montages.
Really good sports montages. We won't even
Ladybugs?
mention
No.
Ladybugs.
Ladybugs was the terrible sports montages, and this movie also
Do not watch
has
that movie.
not great sports montages. So
It really doesn't. I agree with that. I think the montages leave a lot to be desired. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the final one is just, this is a personal note that I think this movie got very wrong. They go to Chicago and they win the national championships and they're celebrating with tequila shots in Chicago. Where the fuck is the Malort? They should be drinking
what?
Malort.
What is that?
Just like, it's basically like gasoline in a bottle sold as alcohol. With
Ew.
probably a little bit of like rat poison put in.
What the fuck is this?
This is what you drink when you're in Chicago. I keep going there on business trips, and it's friggin' terrible, but it's very Chicago. You would drink that over tequila shots.
Both of these sound terrible, so gross.
I'm just saying, you got a detail wrong here.
All right.
We don't end on the things that suck or are cringy. Things that are great about this movie. You had some notes here.
I did. So I think this movie, it's just a happy movie. This is one of the rare movies that Elena has seen a lot, and she was like, I just felt happy the whole time watching this. And then because a lot of times, whether it's Star Wars or another movie, like Elena will fall asleep and the kids think it's hilarious. And so she did not fall asleep, and Isaac took note of the fact that she did not fall asleep.
Mine, I didn't even write this down, or I put it in my closing thoughts. Right before watching this movie, because I watched it quite a while ago, as you did as well.
And only once, which is ridiculous.
But watching it for the podcast, we were coming right out of the Christmas season, and for the first time, I sat down and watched that Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie, Falling for Christmas, that's on Netflix. But like, it's very similar, only just set on a ski hill. I mean, it's not them coming together to do like skiing together, but like it's the class issues and the bumping into each other and hating each other at first. And then, like, actually, there's a whole amnesia plot. Actually, that movie, when I think about it, is Overboard on a ski hill. But you get that I had been primed. Yeah, I had been primed with a Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie, and then came into this movie and was like, this is a Hallmark Christmas movie. And maybe your wife Elena should be watching more of those, honestly.
Honestly, like
She's
she
into
likes
it.
some of that cheesy shit.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's cheesy, but like I think it still works. I mean, this is where there's a difference and I'm a little worried now because I have a nostalgia for this movie.
You
And
do.
so it to me, I'm gonna go right into closing arguments here.
Okay, go for it.
To me, this was just as I remembered. I mean, there are movies that become more cringy when we rewatch them, Ferris Bueller being the main one. And there are movies where it's just as they are. And then there are movies where you find something new to like about it. And this was just as they are, but I did have some small hints of some things that I thought were good from an adult perspective. So, like, I think this movie is like, it's a warm and fuzzy. And now that the Olympics are over, it's the warm and fuzzy movie you need to watch. And we're like a few months away from the new season of Ted Lasso. So this could be your bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only saw this once, and my memory of it was just that toe pick. Just the toe pick.
But isn't the toe pick great?
I mean, it's very quotable. Although, I feel like only women of a certain age would catch that reference if you were to throw that out in the middle of like a business meeting. Toe pick. Like,
I don't know.
I tripped on your PowerPoint. Toe pick.
Listeners, I want you to tell me whether you think men would also understand that reference from of people our age in their 40s.
I guarantee you no.
I
don't think any guys our age who are straight.
You were straight. Good point.
Watch The Cutting Edge. You're in the middle of some Venn diagram there. That's like the perfect viewing audience.
I guess I am because I also was like super attracted to Kate. So there was that.
Well, do you want to move to ratings?
Let's do it. So for folks who are new to us, it's a rating. We do 1 to 10, 1 being garbage, 10 being Princess Bride. We rate it for how does it live up to us as adults, and then we do the same scale for kids. So we'll start with adults.
You're gonna hate how low I go on this. I cannot go higher than a 5.
What?
I cannot.
Okay.
I cannot.
Not even a 0.5?
I'm giving you exactly average here. I would have trouble recommending this to anyone who hasn't seen it.
Wow.
A lot of times growing up.
I don't know if I got this level of negativity from our episode so far, but
I mean, it's a lot of fun to talk about. It's got Hallmark Christmas level quality to me, and those movies are not worth talking about a lot too. So,
all right, listeners, don't listen to Amanda. I think if you've seen this a lot, I went as high as a 7. I think we've talked about this before. There has to be things that I really found new to like about it to go above that. I mean, I was tempted to go 7.5, but I'll go a 7. And you and I were even on a text chain with our friend Sarah, and I recommended that she watch this.
You did, and I kept my mouth shut.
I noticed that you were silent. And I was like, Amanda and I haven't talked about this yet, but I think you should watch this with your kids. So I'm going to go with 7 because I do think it meets the bar of like that. It's really fun to rewatch if you've seen this before.
I think the nostalgia is swaying just in one way, and I don't have that nostalgia. So I am reaching for anything I can compare it to, which in my case is a Hallmark Christmas movie. So that's where we're at, folks. All right. We are at 12 for the adults. Jess, would you actually go first for kids' ratings? Because I'm curious what your kids thought.
My kids liked it. They enjoyed it, and it inspired them to watch more of the figure skating during the Winter Olympics. They were joking about toe pick. I am going to go as high as a 6. I absolutely think this is above average. I do venture to guess that other kids would too. There are some of the cringe elements that we mentioned, but solid 6 for me.
Okay. I'm going to give this another 5 for kids.
You're so
I can
boring.
picture my nephew who plays hockey being like, I fucking hate this.
Fair.
And he's at an age now where he would use an F-bomb in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough there to like excite all the kids. So I'm just leaving it at average. I'm not calling it good. I'm not calling it bad.
That's disappointing. So what's our total?
I'm sorry. We're at 23.
Ooh, that's
which is
low.
right around that line.
It's right around that
lower
line.
Than a lot of our recent episodes, although it's slightly lower than Gremlins.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Did we say Okay, wait. Did we say Gremlins lived up?
Do you want to know the answer before we decide if
I do want to know the answer.
I believe I said no, it does not live up, and it
I
doesn't
do
live
not
up.
like where this is going. So, listeners, we have one final question. It's just a yay or nay. Amanda and I both have to agree of whether it lives up. Obviously, I do think it lives up. I absolutely do. I think you could rewatch it. If you've seen this before, watch it with your kids. It's so much fun. So to me, it lives up. It doesn't necessarily give you a whole new element to appreciate about it. So Amanda has to agree to have this officially live up for the
No,
podcast.
so Jess, you're saying this lives up.
Absolutely.
Okay. I can't. I'm gonna break your heart. I cannot.
No.
This is a no for me. I
This is
cannot
a true
recommend
Beverly
this movie.
Hills slash a overboard situation
Slash
where Amanda
Hook.
is so fucking wrong.
Uh,
Wait, why don't you think it lives up? And then I would just, before you answer that, I'll just say for listeners, this means that it officially does not live up for the Live Up podcast because we don't agree. But what the fuck's your problem, Amanda? Tell me your problem.
my problem is that I think the two actors are good, but I think that this is essentially a Hallmark Christmas movie, only a little bit cringy and like definitely framed from like his point of view.
You
and,
did
like,
not
let's
hint
insult
at this
the
while we
lady.
were recording. You
I
jerk.
was subtle about it, but yeah, no, I let you sing its praises. I didn't enjoy watching this.
Really?
Like, I didn't. I mean, like, there's parts of it that are fine, and I do love that they are very snarky towards each other. Like, I do think the dialogue's very good, but I don't see myself watching this again. I didn't enjoy it enough to like recommend it to anybody.
Wow.
It just was
I'm
not my cup of tea.
So,
Yeah.
Amanda, I'm surprised. I have recommended it since because I thought it was so much fun to rewatch. Listeners, I think Amanda's dead wrong. But
it is
anyway,
a cult classic, and this could be something like Tremors, where if you've seen this a bunch of times, that you're like, yes, I love this.
God,
and
you were such
I
a
just,
jerk about Tremors.
Which I also killed Jess's enthusiasm for that one
and
too.
she was wrong.
I will take the hate mail on this one, but I cannot see myself.
I can't wait for people to come at us about this, and I'm gonna read out every comment.
Yell at me. This is all
yell
I'm
at
doing,
Amanda. So this means this officially
cannot.
does not live up, which I will register my disagreement, but it officially does not live up. Please, for the love of God, let us know what you think and yell at Amanda at Live Up Pod on all the socials, at Live Up Pod on Gmail. Tell Amanda why she's wrong, and that would make me happy.
Yep, I will accept my fate on this one.